It's gonna be really dicey.
Yeah. This is the last time I shall sit here. And next time I'll sit here. I'll sit here next time. And Anne will sit here. But
There's first, there's last, there's all kinds of things.
Yeah.
It's all good.
yeah.
All right, gang. We're going to call to order the regular meeting, May 14th, 2024, here in Common Council Chambers of the Syracuse Public Art Commission. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And I just did that. So you'll have to excuse me. I've never been good with Robert's rules, even to this day.
I was going to say, so Commissioner of Parks, Tony Williams, is here today
Yes.
to introduce
So
our
we
new
are
public
happy
art
to
coordinator.
introduce the new public art coordinator, Anne. How do you say the last name, Anne? Kofer. So Anne is now full-time under Parks and Rec, and she started Wednesday. It's been a whole week already. Commissioner Tony Williams.
Sorry.
Hey, good evening, everyone. It was important for me to come down to introduce Ann. We're very happy to have her. She comes from the school district with many years of experience. And to Michael's point, she will be serving as the Parks Department and the City of Syracuse's new public art coordinator. Happy to have you, Ann.
Done. No, that's it. No, you're fine. You'll have plenty of words through the next years.
I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you, Anne, and it's a interesting time for public art throughout the city. So it's a beautiful thing to see the full-time coordinator go into position, and we'd be remiss to not, once again, graciously thank Kate Atwater for her years of service as the part-time.
You're very welcome.
She's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
She's got a new gig. But so thank you and welcome. And on behalf of SPAC, obviously all the commissioners here will be happy to meet for a coffee on the mayor's bill, and no, just kidding. And be able to obviously help through this transition. I'll say that being a part of the interview process was very interesting, and something really stuck out about Anne to me. And that is, as we went through the process on Zoom, which was very difficult, it was like Microsoft meetings, and we're all there in the windows, and we'd ask a question, and Anne would begin answering the question, and then immediately start throwing ideas out. And I was like, oh, I like this. And so that enthusiasm is going to do you very well in this role, and we appreciate you. So congratulations. No.
I was just wondering, maybe we could just go quickly around the table.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Because
Elle?
Ellen Blaylock. I am an artist in residence at the Swineford Arts Center. And by the way, I have seen your art. I love your art.
Nice.
So I think I should mention that. I've seen that installation that you. Didn't you do an installation there with the drippy thing? I mean, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that. And then I just saw a couple other things. So but thank you.
I'm Anita Welch, and as you know, I'm the director of the Kirkland Arts Center, and prior to that, I was a professor at Casanova College, and I'm also a professional artist.
I'm Savannah Robity, and we worked together for 2 years at Dr. Meeks Elementary School. And
You go way back, yeah.
yeah, good, interesting days.
Never dull.
Long days, lots of fun, good coworkers.
There you go. Michael John Haggerty, you just met like 10 minutes ago. I'm just a concerned citizen.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Kelly
outside that door. And in my previous job, I was very involved in the arts programming in the DeWitt Library. So that's my connection. Nice to meet you.
And I'm Benny Guzman. I'm the programming coordinator with the La Casita Cultural Center. I am also a graduate student in the Department of Creative Art Therapy and an artist by trade. Welcome. I have 2 more years before I'm technically licensed, but I've been doing art therapy for as long as I can think. Oh. Who? No.
She was completely awesome.
Oh, very,
Run the art classes for me, and I was
oh, very nice.
I'm Emmanuel Carter, and I'm with the Department of Landscape Architecture at SUNY ESN.
And you know me. Yes, we spent
is.
a number of hours together over the last week. Very grateful. Oh, no. And it will continue, so.
Excellent. Well, welcome, Ann, and thank you. And I'm sure we'll be crossing paths often over the next few months regardless. So moving on to the review of the minutes, did everyone have an opportunity to look at the minutes? There is one thing I wanted to review. Tony's still here, so we can ask him. The mention of how much was allotted in the budget for grant opportunities, is it 25 or is it 35? There were numbers being tossed around. 25, okay. So, confirmed.
Thanks.
Okay, did anyone else have any input on the minutes and have a chance to review them? Yep. Yeah, there you go.
You know how it is in Syracuse, yeah. Really support art.
Very good. Can I get a motion to,
Approve the minutes?
thank you. Benny, quick on the draw.
Yep.
And Anita for the second.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
Okay. Reviewing of the minutes has been approved. Moving on.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Any opposed?
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good. Old business is old business. We move on to new business. We do have Hanover Square Association here, as well as artist Ali Walker, who is no stranger to the Public Art Commission.
Someone is controlling my screen back in
You just
the
moved?
office.
Oh, it just clicked? Oh, okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. So, Ali, if you'd like, you can step up to the podium here and speak to this piece, maybe explain a little bit how it came to be with the Hanover Square Association.
I'm trying to make it a little smaller.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
I know, there's a ghost in the machine.
And for those of you who don't know, this is Eric, the president of the Hanover Square Association. Eric has been active in the Hanover Square neighborhood for some time now. And yeah, this is kind of like it came about in the general meeting and went out, Hanover Square Association went out and made it happen. It's TNT funding. So go ahead, Ali.
So basically, here on South Warren Street over in Hanover Square, there's an electrical box. It's kind of surrounded by what will be lovely little plants wrapping around it, but it's just black and has nothing else on it. With working with the Hanover Association, we wanted to add a little color to the square and kind of keep something so even when it's snowy out like this, it still has a lot of color to it. The flower box, the design is driven and created to highlight a small community garden, the growing spaces and nurtured into life by neighbors, and the theme is vibrant flowers and butterflies arranged along a bright picket fence with different colors incorporated in the highlights and shadows that wrap around the electrical box. The top of the electrical box will be white with various bugs and ivy just to complement the overall design. And we look to start pretty soon. Any questions?
What kind of paint will you be using?
I'll use The city has actually offered to prime the box, but I would recommend them a direct metal paint, and then I would use metal paint for that too as well, and then just a light clear coating, but it'll last. I've worked with food trucks before on metal, and it's been wonderful and long-lasting. Well, yes, for the most part, except for the blue butterflies. I just thought it would add a little bit of color. I was also looking to just kind of highlight, because we will be planting in there, and we hadn't decided what type of flowers to complement, so I just thought that they would add a little extra.
I'm sorry if I could just, so this is also, at least the title is a memorial garden, and I don't know if you can speak to that. That would be helpful.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Eric.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
The intention or how this came about was a couple years ago, the owner of Sweet Praxis passed away, leaving two young kids, and we were like, oh, she's our community, and we started talking about it. And also we have Ed Kulakian passed away, but it happened during COVID, so nobody kind of knew that happened too. So we were like, it'd be nice if we could have a space that we could, that people could come to remember things. The Kulakian building is no longer the Kulakian building, that's moved on. And so we kind of started with that intent, and really we just kind of wanted to brighten everything up. I know we kind of hit some snags with like making it a full memorial as far as the council goes and other things. So we really just, that was the intent, but I don't think we're going to actually put any, dedicated to or anything like that. We're just going to, keep this pretty space. There is quite a large planter here. There's a medium-sized tree in there. We did plant a couple of mostly kind of evergreen stuff, so that it should fill that whole space that kind of has been lacking color and everything. So we do have some plants in there already. The Hanover Square does a planting day and a cleanup day every year. This year it's going to be in June, first weekend in June, I think. So we'll be taking care of that bed and keeping it fresh and nice, and complement it with the box here.
Awesome, thank you, Eric. Yeah, transversely, the other side has like the Peacekeeper's Garden in that planter's box.
Yeah,
on the same
other side
opposite side. So like in some capacity, it mirrors that, and yeah, cool.
I'm wondering, what's the plan for the top of the box itself?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The top of the box will be painted white. It'll complement what it looks like on the inside, but I will basically be covering it in ivy, leaves, bugs, butterflies, just so that way you see this beautiful color here, and you'll see that on top as well.
Will the ivy kind of come around down into the flowers at all, so that they look
It
unified?
can wrap around if you'd like. For the most part, I was just going to kind of work my way through the corners and then kind of wrap it across, so that way it doesn't have any type of pattern to it. It's a little more random.
On the back of the box, or that's like?
The
you have to be able
entire
to get
box
into
will
it?
look like this on all four sides. And it's just an opening, so they're able to leave their electrical equipment in there.
Hell no, yeah, okay. All right.
Any other questions?
I guess I'll just ask, the plantings, are they going to get taller than the flowers? Is it the idea?
So most of it is just ground cover, and just to kind of fill in that space, because we don't have mulching and trying to keep
Right.
put weeds down and everything. There are four larger bushes. I'm not very green thumb, so I couldn't tell you what they are, but they are at the four corners of that planting, and they should not get that large either. Maybe a foot or two, but they would be essentially to the side of that planter, so they shouldn't overgrow it or
And it doesn't exactly show here with the snow, but there's a concrete barrier that goes around this box. So it will stand away from all the flowers and any possible wear and tear.
I was just wondering if you wanted the flowers to get a little taller, because the white is less interesting than the flowers. I was just thinking.
The box comes up to here just to give you scale. So the flowers will actually be a little taller and a little larger than than you would expect. Any other questions?
All right, thank you, Ali. Thank you, Eric. Is there any further discussion by anyone? No. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve? And Emmanuel's hand's going up quick, but I'm going to give him the second there.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
all those in favor? Okay. Just like that.
Thank you.
Go forth and beautify the box. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Eric, as well.
Look forward to seeing it.
Is there any time frame on when you're going to work on this one in between, or?
Yes, I'm just looking over it in Ann Arbor at the moment, so once that project finishes,
Oh, cool. Oh, okay. Great. Awesome. Very good. Thank you. And now we're moving on. All right. So that passed. Where'd Kate go? Okay. No one's hacking it. So next up.
We do have, we do have a videographer here today who's documenting the whole process.
Yes.
Because this is another.
Say hello to
city of
Michael
Syracuse.
Calabrese, everyone.
Hello, Mike Calabrese.
Michael is the documentarian that was hired to document City as Canvas further, that we spoke of in the last meeting and such. And he's doing his due diligence because Russell Mason is here today, who represents Valley in Bloom, SPAC 2404. And Russell can speak to his submission here. I'll also just like to say that Russell has been actively a part of submitting for multiple City as Canvas opportunities, so it's nice to see him up here. And go ahead.
It's
Talk
not
to us
as
about what you
nice
got.
for you as it is for me, I can tell you that. It's been a long road. I'm so glad to be here in front of all of you. Just so excited to be doing this. This is actually my first mural in Syracuse, other than private business murals. So first exterior large mural in the city of Syracuse, which is kind of unbelievable. I've been doing murals for 10 years now across the country, New York City, LA, Miami. I mean, pretty much you name it, except for Syracuse. So I'm just over the moon happy because I have 2 little kids and I get to tuck them in every night after work, and I'm just really excited. And especially excited to bring this to the people of the Valley. I'm so glad they voted for it. And yeah, there's kind of a lot that went into thinking about the piece. So I wanted to capture the kind of natural beauty of the valley, as well as the architecture and a little bit of Syracuse in the background. So that's what you see, the skyline there in the background, Syracuse, the dome over here, the new dome.
Yeah.
That'll be a little more apparent in the painting. I'm going to make the sky a little bluer behind it, make sure that shows more. Equitable Towers will be somewhere right around in here, and some other landmarks of Syracuse. So this is essentially came about from a bird's eye view, like a Google Earth view of the valley. It's not 100%, to scale like a map, but it's kind of an artist interpretation overlooking Webster's Pond, which I now know is called the Duck Pond from locals there. And some other notable things, we have the stone arsenal here. So that's a relic from the War of 1812. And that's located off of Seneca Turnpike, kind of off the beaten path a little bit. It's one of the older notable historic things about the valley and the, Onondaga Hollow. Otherwise, yeah, you just have aesthetically beautiful flowers. That's kind of an interpretation of the creek walk behind it. I'm probably going to paint it a little more representational of the actual creek walk. And then the badge I was very happy to, I found out after the fact that these windows are going to be replaced. I was thinking they were just going to be painted over, but they're all being replaced. So there was one here, and I was happy that Tina and I were able to talk the owner into keeping this part boarded up so that we can make the badge so big and centrally located. Otherwise, it would have had to been, this tiny little thing right here. It would have not really worked for the composition, so that was a big win. Otherwise, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The walls was in really rough shape, but it's been renovated quite a bit, so they did a nice job with that. And yeah, so my first aspect here of work is going to be on this window. The wood is a little rotten, so I'm going to replace that wood with weatherproof OSB and caulk that in with weather sealant. And
Nice.
I'm going to prime the whole thing with Sherwin-Williams Luxon Masonry Primer, which is extremely durable. I used it for a almost 15,000 square foot mural in Oswego. It's on a bridge underpass. So, I mean, talk about horrible weather conditions. And that's stood up over the past 3-4 years now. Looks exactly the same as when I painted it. Yeah, so that's a really durable primer. Top coat will be Sherwin-Williams Latitude paint. I have great success with that. It's even can be used in high humidity, high heat. It's a really tolerant paint that is very durable as well. So that'll be 5 to 6 layers, I would say, top coating. And if you're interested in my process, I'm going to do the whole thing kind of like a medium blue. And I use a sprayer in the beginning, paint sprayer, not aerosol. I actually don't use any spray paint. I don't like the effects as on me or the environment. And I don't really like the look either. It just, to me, looks cheap. But I don't know, some people like it. So this will look more like a giant painting than a street art kind of thing. So yeah, and then I'm going to layer in to lighter blue to here, all the way down, and then all the way back to dark blue on the bottom. So if you can picture that, it's like lightest blue in the middle, darker blue top and bottom. So that kind of captures the lake and the sky. I don't know if you're interested in this, but just my process. Then layer in the green. That's kind of like the second layer. So that'll be 3 to 4 layers, different green colors. So you have trees, the grass in the foreground. It's nice and dark. Finally, the skyline would go in. So that's where Syracuse will pop into the scene and it'll get a little noticeable. This is still just not even existent. This badge is kind of like the last step. From the skyline, this creek walk will go in. Then the arsenal wall. And then finally the branches, flowers, and the last step is the badge to bring it all together. So that'll take, weather dependent, 3 to 4 weeks, I think. Probably more on the 4-week side. It's a pretty large wall. And then it's going to be sprayed with a polyacrylic sealant. Also, that's a really top-of-the-line product for Minwax, and that's product specifications are for 10 years. You do 2 coats. It's good for 10 years, and that just means there won't be any fading, any kind of damage to it whatsoever, and I think probably even beyond that. But I'm happy to recoat it after 10 years. So that kind of covers the maintenance there. I don't know if you had any other questions on it, or?
Yeah, so if you're going to put birds in there, and you'll have to forgive me, because I have birds on it.
Mm-hmm.
Can we put American birds in there, like northeastern birds? Because those are European birds.
Oh, was going to be a robin.
Yeah, that's a European robin, though.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Sorry.
You do know birds. Yeah. You could definitely do it, yeah. And I had a question for you, actually. You say you're from Kirkland Art Center?
Yeah.
That's in Clinton, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm originally from Waterville.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, well, stop in
So,
sometime.
yeah, talk about a small town.
Yep. That's smaller than Waterville. doorbell, is it not?
Yeah, yeah.
Very good.
So yeah, if you can get me the birds,
I can tell, I'll give you a list of
we can
birds.
talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will talk to you right
On a
away.
similar note, the flowers, can you talk to us about the flowers that you chose for this?
So I went with cherry blossoms. I just like the contrast of the white on what's going to be, kind of medium to dark greens and blues. I think it really pops, and I like the yellow.
And
I know
then,
yeah. What's that?
I said apple blossoms would be good too. They're
Yeah, they
white.
almost look like apple blossoms also, but
Yeah. I call them apple blossoms.
I guess they are, because cherry blossoms are pink, aren't they? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know what I'm talking about here.
in the upper left-hand corner, Russell, there's like a white box. This is going to be a billboard, unfortunately, maybe?
Very unfortunately, I was trying to talk, Tina and I are trying to talk him out of that also,
Okay.
but I guess he wants to keep that, so.
Oh, thanks, Kate.
It looked better the way you had it.
Yeah, it's right in the upper left-hand corner, and that's the corner of the street, so that's kind of an
If
opportunity.
if
You
he
need-
changes his mind, or if anyone else can talk him out of it, I'm happy
Need a
to.
letter of support from SPAC, or like, you know? Yeah,
Right, that's
Yeah.
terrible.
okay.
So that's gonna be the main.
I
point of
guess
view
it's for
on
an
it.
ad. Tina didn't really give me much details other than he
Okay.
really wants to keep it, so. I think it's just it was a community center, but I don't know what his plan is
Yeah,
for
I
it.
think that's what I heard too, community center. Yeah.
It's gonna be, when you
Yeah.
turn,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
See if we, yeah. Yeah, in the shot here, the north
Drive
facing.
up to
Yeah.
it, how much of this wall can you see? 'Cause that will look
I feel like it's not gonna do the customer any service either. Whoever puts
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
business on that billboard,
It's gonna
They're not
it's gonna
gonna see it.
disappear. That's what
it's
you
gonna
gotta tell 'em.
disappear. And also they're gonna be like the people that interrupted the art, which is not a good look. That's not a good look.
Is
hear
there
ya.
any pressure we can put on the building on that?
Maybe if there was like a camera in here, we could like.
Social
Or-
pressure,
Yes.
but like
Or,
official
or
pressure.
the Valley Bird Watching Association. Put it out there.
Figure out a way of framing out that.
Yeah, that's,
So that
Yeah.
it doesn't look.
we,
Good idea, yeah.
yeah,
so
good
does-
call, Al.
Yeah.
We have had this issue once before, and if I remember correctly, they like took the flowers and almost like framed it.
Yeah, I remember that
Right.
because it was essentially the mural was then shifted, and then the end just became like floral arrangement
Yeah.
essentially.
Might be like a happy medium if we can't convince them to,
Yeah.
you know.
I think he doesn't know, but it's not gonna help his. It's actually not gonna help the ad, it's not gonna help the
Has
whole
he
look.
seen this?
Yes, yeah.
I think maybe what you could do is put like some kind of busy logo in there and say, look how it gets lost. Is it really, you really think people are gonna pay money for that? Because I don't think they are.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Sometimes people can't tell till they see it. Right.
I'll, exactly, yeah.
Come on, let's play hardball and make a contingency
So-
on.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe this is silly, but maybe you could ask them if you could just paint the whole thing, and then they could always like hang something over it. But like I think it'd be better to have your painting go contiguously, and then
That's a good
later,
suggestion.
you know what I mean? And like, and then if they have somebody, you install it, and then when they stop paying, you take it off, and you got the whole mural back.
Or if he just doesn't get anyone that wants to pay for that little space
exactly.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly, but you've got.
Yeah.
So you don't do
That's a great idea.
Kate has a theory here.
You can tell because I'm my inhalation. No, I think the report back, perhaps the resolution and/or a letter, or all of the above, can go back to TNT to say that the commission strongly recommends that the billboard be eliminated or
Let's do that.
removed, with, you know, the various options of how that could be accommodated. I don't think that we can, I don't think the board can actually, the commission can actually say you.
Right.
We can't contingent, but, because it is.
Let's try it and see what happens.
But, but I think for all the reasons that you've mentioned, I think that we can try to make the
Okay.
case.
Yeah, at least
And
if- yeah.
if there's an absolute no, the billboard stays, then perhaps you can think about what you could do in terms of framing it so that it's not quite so.
I know, right? Yeah.
Over it, yeah.
A question I have, maybe not necessary for Russell, but for the commission, is the policy on including the AXA logo and potentially the JPMC? Because obviously you want it to be photorealistic, so those are realistic, but does that go into advertisement territory?
Yeah, good call.
Were you gonna put
Except-
the, were you gonna put the
except
logo,
I think
the
he's-
building, the signage on those skyscrapers or whatever you call them?
The equitable build towers, I don't think it would be visible realistically from like that far of a distance.
Unless they changed their name.
Right.
Couple years,
If you can like avoid putting the signage on there.
Yeah. Because it just, it falls into like kind of maybe an advertisement, maybe not, but it just, it's a weird gray area and rather not.
Additionally, you don't own the rights to those.
Yeah, there's a copyright issue.
Yeah, I was gonna just put kind of two, you know.
Then you have to find out the person who would want the free, and that would be a home right
Get
there,
there,
and we
like,
would
yeah.
do this 10 years down the road, so.
Yeah.
Might as well just,
Yeah, no, that's
yeah, and then by then you'll have it.
Every few
exactly.
years.
very astute.
Do you feel like it impedes your art if you don't include the names of the buildings?
No, I wasn't actually planning on it. I was just gonna do, you know, it's kind of the two tallest, you know, buildings in Syracuse, so.
Yeah, the dome is really recognized.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
want it to look like the Twin Towers.
Right.
Here's hoping it remains looking like a roller coaster for 10 more years. Excellent. Any other insights or questions for Russell?
Motion to approve?
Oh, and there goes my.
Well, that's perfect timing.
There it is. Oh, wow.
The computer's done.
Someone's hacking it again. Elias with the first motion, and
Second it.
Oh, sorry. Oh, was there a motion? I'm sorry. I was
listen,
distracted.
Emmanuel's been trying to be in the game the whole entire time. I'm going to give it to Emmanuel. And, and then all those in favor of Valley and Bloom by Russell Mason, please. Oh, any other
I'm
discussion?
sorry.
That's okay.
No, I just want to clarify, does the motion to approve include Anita's
Yes, including our
recommendation?
recommendation, yep.
To put a native robin in there, rather than the
Native
cute
birds.
European one.
Yes.
But the native ones are also very cute. And then just encouraging the property owner to seed that piece there.
Motion to
Okay, good. I
strongly.
just want to,
Okay.
yeah.
Recommend.
Strongly, okay, I just wanted to clarify that
Okay.
for the record. Thank you.
Very good.
So
What
now
Kate-
all in
What Kate
favor.
said. Raise your hands, please.
All in favor?
All those in favor? Excellent. Congratulations, Russell. Thank you for adding Syracuse to your bucket list of murals from around the world.
That's right.
You mean today? You came- Oh, I'm sorry.
Awesome, good.
So this is the 7th, the penultimate city is canvas.
Right.
And there's just one left, and that
There's
will be
one
the
left.
Valley. And they're making their decisions tomorrow night, I
15th,
believe.
yeah, tomorrow night, yeah.
And.
There's actually a
yeah.
lot of applications. Yeah.
Where is
Lot of
this
applications.
location again?
It's right outside of our new public art coordinator's office, literally on the grounds of the Inner Harbor
Nice.
home
That's gonna
of
be a
Parks and
fun
Rec.
one, yeah, fun
It's super
location.
cool, yeah. And so it splits into 5 pieces if it's done that way, and it's very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Like literally, if you've seen behind the Most Museum, the section of the Berlin Wall, they're approximately that exact size, and they have the, bottom piece and everything. And so the most interesting part about it is it could be two-sided because there's room on both ends. So there could be like back to back. It could be like a lot of things, but I think that they took it into consideration. I flipped through them quickly and looked at it in
I'm
the
not
thing,
sure.
but there's
I
definitely,
think they
there's
may,
like
they may have.
a dozen applicants or something like that, so it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And that will be like along the creek walk in that grassy area, directly across from the Preserve Restaurant front door. Like on the opposite side of the road, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it looks cool. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. So, but, well, anyways, congratulations, Russell. And this next part is just discussion amongst SPACs, so you're released if you'd like to. If you'd like to.
How nice to meet you. Thank you so much for coming.
Very good. Be well. Oh, yeah.
Always good to
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great.
Laura, give you pictures. That's right. That's right.
Awesome.
Do.
Awesome. All right. Very good. Yeah, he's literally been from day one applying to Syracuse campus. I think he's applied the most of anyone, so it's great to see him here too, which is great. So
Yeah. And it was actually nice to have him detail his method as well, how
Yeah,
he was
agreed.
planning on doing how he was
Yeah.
planning on doing it was really interesting. So
he's
we should
using all the
encourage
tools.
that.
Yeah.
Encourage the artist to go into detail.
I think you should give us the recipe and talking about the layers and things like that.
Yeah.
So that when we get new muralists that's coming through, we can maybe give them a guideline, like,
Yeah.
this is how you probably want to prime the wall, and this is why you want to use this paint for this reason, because he's giving us the ingredients.
Yeah, for real, that knowledge
For
is
making stuff really
it's
stick and
wonderful.
stay on the wall.
The I'll tell you too. Sherwin-Williams has a real thing going locally. They've got this woman working for them who's kind of a manager of the region. Her name's Desiree, and we've used her often to all we gotta do is ask all the right questions, and she'll come back with this is what we got. They're constantly promoting deals for things and stuff. And, aside from the fact that they've got to do sales, I think she's a real, resource. And they even bring in, on their dime every once in a while, a guest artist. And I think there's one coming up in a few weeks where they host them and have a cookout. And it's free. All you got to do is show up. So. She's been a part of City's Canvas from day one, helping us with checking out the walls and stuff too. So, pretty cool.
How do we find out about the barbecue?
For the right reasons, it's not.
She's literally called the Paint Lady 315 on social media. Yeah, and so she's always posting tips and tricks, and yeah, it's cool. She also, her expertise is in the wall though. So send her first to address what kind of shape the wall's in. And then she'll be all right, this is the best products that you can possibly use to fix that or whatever. So totally. So Lauren is here, and I wanted her to quickly just update us on the website because I know it's coming along.
I can.
I'm the right person.
I think Lauren has been dismissed. No,
she is the right person.
That would be fair.
You have not been
many
dismissed.
meetings lately.
Lauren has been absolutely instrumental in terms of the design and now it's the populating thereof. So up to a point, but we had a 3-hour training today, which I know
Hopefully you
you
got
did
to miss
not.
that.
Exactly. In fact, it's a total of 9 hours. In the end, yeah, there's 3 hours tomorrow and 3 hours next week. So you were deliberately left out.
Okay. I was starting to wonder, but
Only the people who are actually being paid to sit through these.
Thank
Or
you,
yeah,
thank
yeah, yeah, no worries. So I can't tell you yet what the schedule is for the rollout, except it's coming slowly, but it will be here, and Anne it's actually really good timing with Anne, because she will be in the ground floor for really populating it and building it up.
I read a lot of the information. A lot's been done. I mean,
Yeah.
really
So
have.
we've worked on a lot of the content. Yeah. And so now it's actually just sort of putting it into the right pages in the right format and getting the images and blah blah blah. So.
I knew that, but to give Lauren credit for going to all those meetings, I knew that we were in the right places when the outside company came to work with us as a third-party vendor, and they gave 32 examples of websites for other public art programs, and she said no to every single one of them.
Yeah.
Because we had a vision of what we wanted, and she really took it across the finish line. So it's going to be a very powerful tool, because it will have a interactive map that shows where everything is with proper credits, and it's a big play. It will take advantage of the really good resources that Anita, Devana, and others created. So it's going to be great.
And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it has, and it does not have such a municipal look. Like it's much, it is much slicker. It may be not absolutely, 100% everything that we would want, but it looks much more like a public art website as opposed to be. Exactly. And really giving precedence to the art and to the images rather than to the text. So.
yeah, the website, the design of the website is intended to showcase the image. So it's not so much about when you see it unpopulated, it doesn't look like, it doesn't have a lot of pizzazz. You just have to make sure we've got it.
Look forward, yeah. Yep, for sure.
So.
Heck yeah.
And we worked a lot on the wireframe for the website. And it's like when we get all of our missions up, like funding and all that stuff, it's going to be very powerful.
So should I be keeping track of grants that I run across that might be useful for artists?
Yes.
And is there a way
Yeah, that'd be
for
great, yeah.
us to have sort of bigger grants, so the way TNT had money that it could allocate? Is there a way to do that as well? Would that go through parks?
This is the last time I'll answer this question. We both answer this question.
Right.
So I think what will probably one of the advantages of being at the Parks Department is the Parks Department has a good relationship with the Parks Conservancy. And so although we have not said this to the Parks Conservancy, we're hoping that we can create a public art fund through the Parks Conservancy, and that would be the way of holding funds as well as applying for funds that could, come into play for the public art program. And so we don't have to create a separate 501c3 and the city may not ask for funds, but apart from
Right, what they're intended for.
right, yeah, but or solicit.
Okay.
Yeah, solicit donations, but that would be a way to set that up as well.
Great.
Another thing that the website was set up to do is to just list grants.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah,
resources,
as an opportunity.
exactly.
Resources,
Well, that was my point in asking.
To be
Encourage
resources,
us.
yeah.
So absolutely, like even if it's not something that we're funding directly, like having a list, an ongoing list that we are populating constantly with opportunities and funding.
Because in my new life, I run across a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, there you go. Excellent.
And it could be calls, like,
Sure,
yeah,
that too. Mhm.
yeah, and it doesn't have to be for public works. mean, I think that we are centered around that, but
Since we have an artist registry, it would be nice to provide artists with
yeah, I mean,
resources.
I think the general idea is that we want people coming to our website continuously, a lot. And we can discuss what we can narrow that down more. in
Yeah.
discussions if we want.
The only other thing I want to say, just, so at the next meeting, there'll be the Valley, not the Valley, we just had the Valley, the Lakefront TNT. And also the Downtown Committee has got a pilot program that it started to actually do vinyl wraps on signal boxes downtown. So I was able to get a blanket approval from the administration, just go ahead and do it on the ones that the city controls. And so I would imagine, signal boxes, so like, kind of like what Ally.
Yeah, same thing as Ally, but the
kind of
smaller
the
ones.
electrical boxes, or sometimes they're for light signals, or, yeah, the phone, yeah. Graphically designed, so it will be, they're gonna do an RFP type of situation, go and solicit artists, and so there may be.
Rochester and Ithaca have robust programs that have been going for years, so we should
I have
show them those.
It's time, I mean, it feels like a no-brainer,
Yeah.
and it seems as though National Grid will be on board as well. I mean, they haven't given their blanket approval, but my sense is, as long as we're not interrupting in any way the function of the box, and, you know, especially with a wrap, you don't want to go over the vents or anything, because then it will overheat. But, you know, as long as functionally they continue to work, it sounds as though they won't have any issue with that either. So hopefully we'll be able to step into that arena as well.
Excellent. All right. And one last item for discussion before we adjourn. Speaking of opportunities, it is time that I step down as the chair of the Public Art Commission. It wasn't an easy decision for me to make, but I have some opportunities on the horizon that I must.
Do tell.
You know, over the past 3 years, to say that it's even been that long, has been a really wonderful experience here to see the public art burgeon throughout the city, and more importantly, see the volunteer efforts of everyone here at this table come to reality. You know, it's been pretty excellent. It was kind of a wild time for me, and the mayor came to me privately on the street and, you know, asked me if I wanted in, and I was so excited to be, you know, considered. And you know, it's been really fun, but for me, I must take this next step and this next opportunity. By no means am I going to be a stranger to anyone on the commission, I'm sure.
Will you be off the commission or just stepping down?
I'll be off and completely, actually. Yeah, so not to drop the atom bomb of saying good luck and find a new chair, but I know that Tina is currently, you know, yeah.
Well,
And
she's the vice chair.
Vice chair,
or whatever. So she said for the interim,
Yeah.
she'll step in.
And then, you know, obviously, there's some more work to be done, but my version of like civic engagement and working with art around town has burgeoned in those 3 years as well. So I have to kind of take that leap. So I appreciate you all.
Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you. I would say that your creativity and your level of organization, I think it really moved this forward. I don't
Thank you,
know
Nita.
if we would have, I don't know if we would have come this far without you in the chair position.
I was just trying to one-up Kate.
Well, it worked. No. You guys are a good team.
And now that Anne sits in this position, there's a new path to be, you know, ahead. So,
Big shoes.
you know, no, I mean,
Put on all the shoes.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good time.
All
It's a,
leaving, this is your
All the
now.
shoes.
it's a really good time in the turn of like what we've seen coming out of post-pandemic, and we've grown this program, and it's going to continue to grow under your tutelage. So very good.
Yeah, thank you,
And
Mark and John.
Emmanuel, if I could ever still attend your final classes when you have your students show their work, please let me know, because I will be there every time. It was excellent. And that's, thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now,
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Oh, so moved, yes.
Very good. And a second? Okay.
Right, thank you. All right.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned. Welcome, Ann. And there it is.
I really gotta get home to my elderly dog.
Oh, boy, I have one of